Hello Senior 2, how are you all? Today I talk about Rutherford's and Bohr. First one, Rutherford's experiment. Okay, Rutherford's students Geiger and Marsden had performed his famous laboratory experiment. Rutherford's experiment. They used tools. First one, a deep lead box that contains alpha particles. Number two, metal sheet lined with zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate is glowing when the alpha particles collision with these layers. Number three, a very thin gold foil. Okay, hello Senior 2. Today I'll talk about Rutherford's model of the atom. Rutherford's experiment. They used tools. A deep, a deep lead box containing a source of alpha particles and a metal sheet lined with a layer of zinc sulfate and a very thin gold foil. Okay, the procedures. Number one, the positive alpha particle were allowed to collide with the metal sheet, where it was possible to define the location and the number of alpha particles by counting the flashes which appeared on the metal sheet. Okay? Number two, a very thin gold foil was placed between the beam of alpha particle and the metal of sheet. Before adding the gold foil, we observed that appearance of a large number of flashes at the same position where they appeared. Okay, explanation: the penetration of the majority of alpha particles through the gold foil. Conclusion: most of the atomic volume is empty and not solid as Dalton and Thomson exposed. Number two, the appearance of some flashes on either side. This means a small percentage of alpha particle not penetrates and reflected back. Conclusion: the atom contains a tiny part of very high density that's called nucleus. Last one, the appearance of some flashes on both sides of the position where they appeared before and after placing the gold foil. This means that the foil a small fraction of alpha particle and they are deflected. Okay, this means that most of the dense part of the atom where most of the atomic mass is present and the nucleus is a positive the positive charge similar to the alpha particle because they repelled to each other. The postulates of Rutherford's atomic theory: atom, nucleus, and electrons. First one, atom. Atom is very small particle and it can't indivisible and it has a complicated structure resembled to the solar system, and the electrons revolve around it, and electrons having negative charge, and the mass of electrons is very small compared to the nucleus. The charge is negative and equal to the nuclear positive charge. Although the electrons revolve around the nucleus, but they haven't changed the orbitals, and they have special orbitals because they have a mutual attraction between them, between the nucleus and the electrons, and at the same time they have attraction force equal in quantity and opposite in direction to the centrifugal force, so the electron revolving around the nucleus. Number three, nucleus. Nucleus is much smaller than the atom, and most of the atomic mass is concentrated in it. The positive charge and the electrons rotate around it. Choose the correct answer. Number one, all the following are from the properties of the cathode ray, except the ray. Number one, have thermal effect, move in a straight line, positive charge affected by both electric and magnetic field. As we know, electrons or cathode have negative charge, so number C isn't correct. Okay, so the answer is number C because the electron not positive charge. Number two, the first scientist who defined the element is Boyle, Rutherford, Bohr, Thomson. As we know, Bohr he is the first one who defined the element, and he said that he is the simplest form, and we can't change it to simpler one. Okay, number three. On heating gases or vapors under reduced pressure to high temperature, they absorb light, emit invisible rays, emit gamma ray or alpha ray or alpha particles. As we know from Thomson experiment, when we exposed the gases to high electric potential, and using vacuum pump, we can emit invisible rays that called cathodes or electrons. Last one, Bohr's atomic model. Bohr has agreed with the Rutherford and the nucleus is a positive charge and they exist in the center of the atom. Number two, the number of negative charge equal the number of positive charge. Number of electrons equal number of protons. Number three, during the evolving the electron around the nucleus, we have two forces, centrifugal force and attraction force. They have same magnitude and in opposite direction. New postulates electrons, even they are in the energy level, they don't emit or they don't absorption any amount of energy, and in this case it's called stable atom, and the electron is preferred the stable atom. When the electron orbit the nucleus can't be found at intermediate distance, like we know we have seven energy level K L M N O P Q. Okay, the electron isn't exist between K and L. It's called intermediate distance. Okay, and the electron to move from one energy level to another energy level is only very complete jumping. Okay, each electron in each energy level have definite amount energy, and it's depending on the distance between or the radius between the energy level and the nucleus. As the distance between the energy level and the nucleus increase, the energy level increases also. When the electron acquires amount of energy that called quantum by heating, it jumps to higher energy level. In this case, the absorbed quantum energy is equal to the difference between them. For example, if I said the energy level in the ground state is equal 10 joule, and the higher energy level in the excited state equal 50 joule, when I give the electron a quantity of a charge, a quantity of energy, is equal 40 joule. The electron moves from 10 joule to 50 joule, and in this case is called excited atom. The electron in the excited atom is unstable. It it returns back to its original level with the emission of the same quantum number that it's acquired from the ground state to the higher state. So the energy that radiant from the electron equal E2 minus E1, the difference between the two energy levels, and they must be equal the energy of the quantum that the electron acquires when he moves from the ground state to the higher state.